Welcome to a new episode of No Man's Sky. And the episode before this, I presumably have gotten uploaded today. I say presumably I started the upload process, but I haven't checked to see if it has finished uploading, and I assume it has. And so, I mean, that's, with the assumption that everything went well with the upload, and I imagine it would have. But anyway, so that would have been uploaded today. And then hopefully I'll get this video uploaded today as well. I do have to work later, but that's a bit more towards the evening, so I should have enough time to get this video uploaded as well. But with the last episode, it was such a hassle doing the narration for it, because it just needed the narration needed a bit more editing than most of my videos. The narration needs. So it took a lot more time and effort, and I think it recorded the narration either like in the range of January 30th to maybe Feb the 4th. So either way, it's been at least a couple of days since I actually recorded that narration, and it's just I was just trying to get a solid block of time where I could edit it, and I'm not pressed for time per se. It's just finding, enough time in one block. So small little blocks of time where I can't finish it, in each of those small little blocks, but put together to make up enough time. That doesn't really help. It needs to be one consecutive block of time, and so that's what I have now. So that's why I did all the editing for the narration, and I got it uploaded. I wanted to take advantage of the time I had, and I want to do this video as well. Actually, the footage for these two videos, I edited forever ago. Whenever I edit it, the video that is 2 videos before this one, so the video that's before the 2 videos that I'm hopefully getting uploaded today, that one, whenever I edited that one, that's when I edited the footage for these 2. I just sort of hung on to them so that I could do the narration later, and I could focus on doing some of the Civ 6 videos I wanted to do, and the video review of Windows 10. But then that way I would still the footage edited so that I could come back to that when I had time. And then I'll also say, of the overall session that this video comes from, I think this is the last video, because all the footage for the No Man's Sky normal mode gameplay I'm doing right now, it's backlogged from March of last year. It would have to be last year because we're not at March yet in this year. But anyways, so it's almost a year old. So I'm trying to get through it. I have 1,000 sessions left of footage that I need to get through, but I am trying to get through it as fast as I can, and then I can keep working on new gameplay footage for No Man's Sky instead of having to upload the old stuff. So I am trying to do that, but like I said, hopefully this will go up today, and we'll see what else I can get done. Just as sort of an off note, the sort of stock markets of the world aren't doing so well, at least in North America and Europe, and anyways, when you look at the indicators as well, like the Dow. The thing is it's dropped quite a lot this year, and we're considered to be in market correction territory, and so there's, depending on your perspective, good and bad to it. It's definitely scary, and I have some money in the into different companies, and it's definitely scary if you fixate too much on it. I think in the long term it's going to be okay, especially if you have a portfolio made up of solid companies. If you have more risky companies, well, they might not be okay, but solid companies will be fine. And I think this is only a temporary thing anyways. But the one thing I'll say about it is it's a great buying opportunity because of all the, a lot of companies are a lot lower than they normally would be. I would love to take advantage of this. Here's a problem with the timing of this. So at Walmart where I work, because in retail, the beginning of the year is very slow. I'm not getting a lot of hours, and therefore I'm not making a lot of money. It seems like at the end of February, my hours will pick up a bit, and then moving into March, I should be getting more normal hours again. But yeah, I'm not making a lot of hours. And then the thing is, I'm making less money because I have set up automatically on my paycheck a deduction that will actually take a certain amount of money off and then invest that into Walmart shares directly. So it's an op or it's a stock purchase plan, and you know it's kind of a good way to get shares in Walmart without having to pay the commission um, on those shares. And it's just an automatic deduction that gets taken off my paycheck, which means like I'm glad for it because, like I say, it's a good way to get shares in Walmart. However, it means I'll get less money on each paycheck than I normally would because of that. Um, but the thing I'll say about buying shares now is you kind of get a cool effect of growth, is because with any company that has decent growth and anything especially that's considered a growth stock, you're going to get in terms of the capital appreciation. You're going to get the gradual growth over time. But whenever you buy at like a discount or a pullback or whatever, then you also get the more immediate effect of that recovery. So let's say, for example, there's some terrible news, or I don't even know why I'm making a good example. Let's say like right now there's a market correction, and let's say a company dips as an arbitrary number like 10%. You're going to get, assuming it regains that ground, you're going to get that effect of the 10% increase to regain the ground. So like for right now, you probably expect it to be a more gradual increase for that as well. If it was bad news, and it's something that would blow over in a couple of days, that would be an almost immediate effect. That would be you buy it and then it almost immediately goes back up, assuming that news blows over, which sometimes happens. Maybe 10% is a bit of an exaggeration in most cases, but you'll see like a dip and then it'll immediately go back up in a couple of days. So you get that effect, and then you get the effect of gradual growth over time. So let's say if it was a 10% drop that was recovered, then you would have, let's say you held it for like a year after it recovered, the share price that it lost. So then let's say you got like another 7%, so if you bought it at like the more normal, sort of more normalized price, you would have only got the 7% increase, but since you bought it at like a 10% discount, then you get a 17% increase overall. So it's kind of a cool thing that way. Obviously, those are arbitrary numbers. I've seen greater dips because of bad news that almost immediately recovered. I've seen a lot of really small, like 1% or 2% dips because of bad news that almost immediately recovered. So, like I say, arbitrary numbers, but you do get that cool effect of just the increase of gradual increase over time, and then just the recovery from the pullback or whatever, which is kind of nice. I had my birthday recently, and I won't tell you the date, but somewhat recently at least. Not that recently, but anyways, which is depressing because now I'm a year older and I feel a lot older. I don't feel young anymore, But anyways, so it was kind of bad. I'll just say two things about it. The first one was kind of bad. The second one was good. But I got a card from my immediate family, and here's the thing: from most of my immediate family, I did not get a personalized birthday greeting, which I don't care about. But they basically my mother, father, and sister. One of them wrote "Happy Birthday," and the rest of them just signed after it. So, not really a personalized greeting from any of them. It kind of gave me one collective, generic greeting. But like I said, I don't care about that. But here's what does irk me a little bit. One of my brother's friends actually signed my card and gave me a personalized birthday greeting, which means, and just to sort of qualify that, me and him, I wouldn't say we're friends per se. I would say we're good acquaintances, and I would say we probably like each other well enough. But I wouldn't say we're necessarily friends per se. But anyways, so when you think about that, he gave me a more sort of, he put more work into that than my parents. So maybe this says something about me, or that says something about my parents, and I don't know. But the sort of the good thing is, Basically for Christmas, my brother bought me an amiibo, and I was gonna get him to buy me an amiibo for my birthday. And I told him, look, I'll just buy it on Amazon, and you can reimburse me, and that way I get the amiibo I want. And he goes, okay, well, fine, but like, don't buy one for like $60, $70. I'm not gonna spend that much money on your birthday present. So fair enough. But then he changed his mind. He said, look, the amiibo I bought you for Christmas, that was for Breath of the Wild. So since you have the amiibo, you might as well be able to use it, and therefore, tell me the price for Breath of the Wild, and maybe I'll buy it for you. And I say, well, it's $80, which is, what it is in Canada. In America, obviously it'll be cheaper, but it's not selling. Then, and then he says, okay, fine, I'll buy it. And I say, well, if you're gonna buy it, I'll probably have to buy myself the expansion pack. And but that's no big deal, and it looks really cool, the expansion pack. And I mean, if I bought the game myself, I probably could not have afforded the expansion pack too. So, that all works out. And he says, well, how much is the expansion pack? Because sometimes they're like the cost of the game, and they don't add a whole lot of content. But how much is it? I told him it would probably bring the price up to like $110. And so he says, okay, I'll buy you the expansion pack too. And so he bought me the game, the expansion pack. I literally downloaded it last night, really late at night, so I didn't actually get to play it yet. But I was really sick last night, so even by the time I started to download, I was like, okay, I'm ready for bed. I am ready to knock off and go unconscious for the night, because I was so sick and out of it and so tired. And I went to bed relatively early, and I woke up relatively early, and but I feel great today, so um, that's good. But I love to play. I'd love to play Breath of the Wild for the channel. It'd be so fun, especially the expansion, to play that for the channel. And I do have a capture card I can use. It's not mine, but I can borrow it. And I'd also love to start getting some stuff from the SNES Classic on the channel. It would be awesome. But anyways, since he bought me the game and the expansion back, I went ahead and I bought myself a new set of Joy-Cons, because I didn't want to buy Joy-Cons. It's just, the thing is, the thing that I can't do, and I realize they're reasonably priced. I don't have a problem with the pricing. It's just, I can't justify to myself spending the money in lieu of buying a game, because the game would obviously be better. But I figured, since he bought me Breath of the Wild, I could buy them in lieu of Breath of the Wild. So I bought the Splatoon 2 style Joy-Cons. The one thing is, I'm going to have to buy a SD card before I can buy any more games, because I want to buy them all digital. So that means I'm going to have to buy a SD card, because I have Super Mario Odyssey, and I bought myself ARMS, and he bought me Breath of the Wild, so I have about 2 gigs of storage left. A bit less than that, I think. 1.2 actually. But the point is, I have under 2 gigs left, so I can still download some games. But I couldn't download Splatoon 2, for example, if I decide to buy that, since I have the Joy-Cons or whatever. But anyways, I'd love to play that for the channel, and hopefully I'll be able to do that. Since I was sick yesterday, I'll just say I watched a lot of UWP videos on how to design UWP apps. So UWP is just Universal Windows Platform, and it's what any modern Windows 10 app is built off of, and it's basically what allows a modern Windows 10 app to work on your computer, and then also your Windows Phone, and then also your Xbox One. Obviously, the phone doesn't really matter, because they don't make them anymore, which is too bad, because I actually like the interface. Well, actually, that's not true. They do make them. Sorry, what I meant is they're going to be discontinued, and they're not going to be supported. So, because of that, you can still technically buy them, I guess. You couldn't go into an actual phone kiosk or whatever and buy them, though. Is the thing about that, but it is very cool, the UWP system. And it uses XAML and C#, and so I'm not specifically an expert in C#, but I've used it a little bit, and I've used programming languages that are similar a lot, so I kind of like the syntax. I know, basically, because I've used a lot of programming languages that have basically identical syntax, even if they're not the same. And then XAML I've never used before, but I've used XML quite a bit, so again, syntax I'm pretty comfortable with, I'm pretty familiar with. It's just the API I guess I need to learn, but I am starting to, and so I've just been messing around with that. You use Visual Studio, and it's really easy. It has IntelliSense, and that basically does all the work for you, and you don't even need to know how to code. It does so much for you. I promise, it does so much. And it was just pretty fun. But that shows you how cool I am, that I'm sticking out of it and I don't want to do anything. So I'm watching UWP videos on how to design apps, and just fooling around with that. That shows you how absolutely cool I am. But like I say, it's fun, and I would like to develop a full-fledged app, not necessarily for the store, but just for my own personal enjoyment, and be able to say that I can, and that I'm competent, and that kind of thing. Anyways, this video is just about to come to a close. So if you watched it, then I'll thank you for doing that. And if you liked it, you feel free to hit that like button. And beyond that, just have a great rest of your day.